everyone, that time, and Christmas is right around the corner, and it's still spooky season, and Halloween and Christmas always seem to go together like peanut butter and jelly. And we've got one for you today that is dramatic horror, black comedy. It's hard to put this film into a single category, and it's How to Kill Your Family on Christmas. The director, Robbie Diaz, with a script from Mark Gottlieb, it gives us the story of Jenny, who has to go to a family gathering. She's dealing with the fact that her sister passed away, her dad has a stepmom, and it's just, it's not a great situation. She's just a teen who is having some major emotions and feeling like her family doesn't care. And now she's stuck in this situation where she ends up being with a whole kinds of people that she doesn't want to really be around, especially when they find out that the grandparents have abducted a young girl because they remind her of the sister that passed away. And we see how the turmoil happens in this situation and how Jenny turns it to her advantage. Wow. It's funny with this film because I wasn't quite sure what to expect going into it. I figured it would be like a kill a minute or whatnot, but they do a lot of setup in here, which may turn a few people off, but I found it interesting. It is like they took every single dysfunctional trope you've ever seen in a Hallmark film and tossed it together in this family that we see at Christmas. It's just, there's no moment where you're just like, oh my God, these people. I mean, the only person you really kind of feel for is Jenny. And then even then, they take Jenny on a trip that you're just like, okay, we're going there. So a lot of twists and turns and surprises, but it does take a while to get to what I would say the actual horror part. So I would say a chunk of this, the horror, is just this family and their personalities and the characters that they are. And the other horror is actual stuff that you might associate with a horror film. So there's really an interesting mixture in here. Now, what helps sell this, since you don't have a huge amount of those horror elements in here right away, is the performances. And I liked Eden Shea Beck as Jenny. You feel for her character. I love her performance in here. Great screen presence. She's got some great chemistry with the rest of the cast. You buy into the fact that she's a teenager who just doesn't want to be with this family. And as we learn more about her as the days go on and she spends it with this family, very interesting. But Eden Shea Beck plays her fantastically. And I loved the October character as well, played by Marley Schaefer. And these two get some wonderful scenes together too. They too take a little bit of a quick turn with the October character that was maybe a little too quick. I would have maybe liked a little more setup. On one hand, I would have liked it. On the other hand, given the situation and everything going on, the October character, yeah, what they do with her character does make sense. It just seemed a little bit abrupt, but still, I found a lot of smiles going into it. Now, there's other great talented casts in here as well. We've got Daniel Roebuck as Howard and Lisa Wilcox as Helen, the grandparents in here. Wow, these two, man, let me tell you, I don't blame Jenny for not wanting to spend the holidays with these two. Again, some layered characters here. On the surface, you see how the grandparents are, and then as we spend more time with them, we realize just what type of people they are, and that's before we find out about the abduction. So, yeah, and then we've got Sadie Katz in here playing the Brenda character. Okay, out of maybe all the characters, her character is possibly the most sympathetic you could possibly have with her besides Jenny, but still played wonderfully by Sadie Katz. And Galen Howard playing Wilbur Farnsworth, who's a character that, wow, just someone that I believe the word skeezy could come to mind. So yeah, it's interesting approach, and it's all shot like kind of a Christmas movie to where it's all brightly lit, and that we don't really have any like real dark lighting or foreboding music, too much of it. We do have some in here, but you know, most part, you get these situations that look like a family drama, and then they just take this dark twist, and it just gets more and more twisted as it goes along. And I loved how it ended. I really did enjoy how it ended quite a bit and how it played out, you know, and the title was fitting. So yeah, How to Kill Your Family on Christmas is definitely an interesting approach to your Christmas horror film. If you're going to go in there expecting to kill a minute, you may be disappointed. But if you're looking for something that is poking fun a bit at those holiday films with the dysfunctional family that has a bloody bookend, yeah, you're going to want to check this out. It really is an interesting script. It's why I love indie horror films and indie films in general, getting these interesting perspectives. And yeah, I look forward to when it gets released. I'll put as much information as I can down below. How to Kill Your Family on Christmas, I think, is worth your watch. Uh, and yeah, like bells and whistles and all that here, we're trying to get to 8,000 subscribers now. Thank you everyone for getting us over 7,000 subscribers. Now we're shooting for 8,000 before the end of the year, and we can only do that with your help. I thank you for your support. And until next time, remember, keep that ticket stub.